What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and I'm going to talk about how the system keeps us in fear, society keeps us in fear, the Matrix keeps us in fear, and there's a lot of different ways that they do this. Some of it is through legalism and bureaucracy, some of it is through, the boot of authority. A lot of it's through guilt trips as well, but this is how society crushes us down and keeps us in a state of fear. So when it comes to, say, the police, I like the police, I support the police, I'm not against the police, but when you really look at what's going on with the police, there's two separate goals that they have. The first goal is to, enforce the law, arrest people that need to be arrested, catch the bad guys. We need that. That's very important. But the secondary goal is to keep the average person down. Keep the average person down through parking tickets and speeding tickets, and your tail light on the back was out, and blah, 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 and all these little laws they can come in and they can get you for. And not only that, but they're set up as sort of a very separate thing. It's like we're civilians and they're something else. When I think about the Old West sheriff, like he was a civilian too. He was just a guy. He was a sheriff. He did his job. He dressed like everybody else, wore his little badge, had a revolver, did what he had to do when he wasn't that much different from anybody else. He had his job, he had his position, and he did what he had to do. But with this, it's like their whole uniform is different, their whole outfit is different, the cars are different. It's designed in a way to make you subtly feel afraid, the way the outfit is set up, the 8-cornered hat that they wear. There's a lot of occult stuff going on, and it's designed to make it so that when they come in the room, even if you're not doing anything wrong, you feel scared and kind of off-put, and you kind of feel like there's this, you kind of feel like a lion or a wolf or a tiger just walked in the room, and you're like, oh, crap. You kind of feel like a bear walked in the room, and you're like, I hope they're not going to find something wrong that I did. I hope they're not going to get me in trouble. I didn't do anything wrong, officer. I'm just here, It kind of just gets you in that state where you automatically feel guilty, and you feel like the eyes on you, and you feel like you're under the fist of the authority. And that's done intentionally, that's done subtly. This is done by these secret societies and by the elites and by the Freemasons and stuff like that. They purposely set it up this way so that your average person will feel crushed down and in fear. And it's subtle, it's sneaky and it's subtle, but it's set up that way on purpose. Everything from the uniform, their uniforms are very strange. If I was setting things up, my uniform would be like, for a police officer, would be like cargo pants, a polo shirt, where you can put your badge on, whatever, utility belt, whatever, just be like a normal outfit that you'd want to wear for a job like that, but they have it all set up to where it's like this whole different class of people, and they're separate from us, and the whole thing is very strange the way it's set up. But that's only one of the things. That's only one of them. That's not even the whole thing. The next thing is bureaucracy. They dominate us with bureaucracy, and they keep us in fear and terror with bureaucracy, because you're signing your life away with like everything you do. You get a job, it's all this paperwork. You don't know what the paperwork means. You don't know what it is. You're just signing it. You're like, all right, I just want to do this, whatever. You try to go move to a new apartment. It's all these credit checks and all this thing. And you try to do anything. Credit check, criminal history check. And like, my credit is amazing. I have a credit score of over 800. I have never been convicted of a crime or anything, but there's just, it makes you feel uneasy just being that like dug into, and you're that much of a number, and you have this like permanent record. And it's very like, it's very dystopian. It's very like dystopian. It's very dystopian. It's very creepy. It's very weird, and it's very like, paperwork kind of terrifies me. Paperwork freaks me the F out. You gotta fill out all these forms, and everything you do, everywhere you go, there's paperwork. You don't know what it means. You don't know what it is. But you have to sign all this stuff, and everything you try to do in terms of life, if you want to move into a new place or get a new job or anything, it's all this, the background check, and they're checking now citizenship check, this check, that check, and it's like, man, they are really, they're really digging into me here. It does not feel good. It feels very uncomfortable, you know? And then the next way they crush you, well, is legalism, which is related to bureaucracy. But all the legalism and all these different laws, and somebody can sue you, and it seems like the law really favors who has the most lawyers and the best lawyers, who can spend the most money on lawyers. And it seems like these legal lobbies really rule, and like legalism rules, and whoever knows how to bend the law in the right way can get some lawsuit and can win a bunch of money. And especially in the corporate world, they're always scared of, we don't want to win a lawsuit. We don't want a lawsuit. There's people in certain positions are terrified of that. We don't want to get sued. We're going to get sued. We're getting a lawsuit and whatever. And all these people are trying to sue these other people. These companies want to sue other companies. And it's just all these dumb, frivolous lawsuits that are just designed to try to get money. And all this kind of legalism in the end of the day keeps us down, keeps us scared, keeps us afraid. There's this whole crazy beast system of all these crazy laws that don't even make sense. And it depends on how the laws are even interpreted. So if you have the right lawyers, the law is going to be interpreted differently. If you have the wrong lawyer, the law is going to be interpreted in a way that is not in your favor. And this whole system, it's a beast. It is a 666 beast, this system. It's nasty, And the next thing is from the education system and from the media and all this stuff, it's all this programming. And from the education system, it's a lot of guilt trips and a lot of fear and a lot of you have to be very, very, very careful about what you say. When I say the education system, I kind of refer to kind of the liberal social kind of thing. It's kind of vague, it's kind of the education system, it's politics, it's the media, it's Hollywood, it's celebrities, but kind of that liberal kind of sphere really gets it to where it's there are certain things you can say and you cannot say, and there are certain things need to be so politically correct. You have to watch everything you say so carefully. And that's a tough one for me, because I say what I feel. I let it fly, I let it rip, I let it go. But even I know that I can't say everything, and I got to be very careful. And, yeah, it's tough. And, there's they really attack freedom of speech too, to where it's we have quote unquote freedom of speech, but if you say the wrong thing, you can get canceled, you can go to jail, you can. Yeah, so there's a lot of this censorship and a lot of authoritarianism going on underneath the surface there, and it keeps people in fear because they feel like they cannot express themselves or talk about what they really want to talk about, or you never know what the proper terminology is or what the right thing to say is, because what was okay a few years ago is now not okay, and the goalposts are constantly moving. Even people within that sphere are still afraid too, because they also struggle to keep up on it, and they have to be double as hard in it because they're in that sphere, and they have to show other people within that sphere that how hardcore they are. And that really keeps you down. And next is religion. Religion tries to block God from us and tries to make people say they have to do all this crazy stuff to get close to God and to know God, and you have to give all these people this money, and you have to follow these crazy rules and be a part of this group and be a part of this thing, and you have to have this priest class of people that's over you, and these clerics or scholars or teachers or whatever, a priest class of sorts that's over you. And the whole thing is just what the heck? It's just, we need to question that premise, and we need to realize God is our creator, but they keep us in fear. We have to do all this religion and all this stuff. And I'm talking about the New Age too. The New Age becomes pretty weird as well, so you got to really be careful. They try to attack, it's the spiritual attacks. They try to attack us spiritually, with that, psychologically, spiritually, put us in fear, This system is just trying to put us down, keep us down, The corporate world, that's another one. Now when you're at work and you have some boss and you have to get your resume good and your references good, and you have to be with this person that has, and you don't want to make anybody mad, and you have to sort of fit in a certain way, and you have to do these interviews, and you have to essentially exaggerate or outright lie during these interviews. And I'm not even kidding, Interviews are not designed for, you have to exaggerate. You have to exaggerate things. That's what they're looking for. It's what they want. It's a whole weird system. And the system of the whole thing is like, the rules tell you to do this, but like really you have to do that. And you have to sometimes break the rules, but you don't want to break the rules. And it's really nerve-wracking and really crazy. And it's like, all right, I guess I have to. I don't know, And that's what the system does. It puts forward crazy rules that are like impossible to follow. And these hypocrites, they're like the Pharisees in the time of Jesus. These hypocrites say, oh, we follow all these rules. We need more rules. We need new rules. We're going to have so much rules. We're going to follow them so good, and we'll show how good a people we are. But their rules are too much. They can't even follow them themselves. They have to secretly break them, and it just puts people in fear and terror because they don't know what they're supposed to do. They're like, wait, these rules are meant to be broken. People don't know what the heck they're supposed to be doing. People are just so confused. They come into an environment. They're like, I don't know what's allowed and what's not allowed. And that's how I felt a lot, because it's like you have the rules that are written, you have the unwritten rules, you have the rules that are meant to be broken, you have the rules that are not really enforced, you have the rules that used to matter but now don't matter, and you're like, what do I do? Which way is up? Which way is down? You're telling me one thing, but then you're saying another, and it is so confusing, and it breaks us down. It puts us in fear. It breaks us down. It's just, the whole world is like this, just running on this matrix beast system that's anti-human. Maybe I'll call this video that. The system that hates humanity. I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but this system is just like, it's anti-human, and it's made by like people's egos. It's like, the thing with the system, it's like they don't think ahead at all. It's like, what's going to make a Band-Aid that will immediately fix some problems or will immediately make people happy, but then it's going to make new problems in the future. And, it's just a lot of people are greedy and egotistical, and it's not good, but the system is designed to break us. Like, when you're dealing with paperwork, or you're dealing with some BS or some bureaucracy or some legalism, or you're dealing with the law or the courts or whatever you're dealing with, just realize it's the matrix, and don't take it too seriously. Just don't take the matrix too seriously. Don't take money too seriously. I mean, try to save up money, try to get your money good, but don't take money too seriously. Don't take the corporate world too seriously. Don't take all the bureaucracy and the legalism too seriously. Don't take any of it too seriously, because if you take it too seriously, you're going to really, really, really feel a lot of pain. You're going to really be unhappy. You're going to really feel trapped and stuck in bondage, and just, you are going to be in pain if you take this matrix seriously. If you take the system seriously, if you take the machine seriously. And look, the machine has a lot of power. Don't be stupid in what you do. Be clever, be smart, understand the machine. Know what you are dealing with. That's what I'm learning right now. I'm trying to figure out how the matrix works, and how I can be a glitch in the system, and how I can avoid that, and how I cannot have the matrix totally kick my ass, and how I can start fighting back so I can have a decent life for myself and not be totally crushed by the matrix like the vast majority of the world ends up happening. The vast majority of the world ends up being crushed by the matrix, especially if you go to other countries and stuff, and you go to places where it's more poorer and there's more poverty and stuff. Like, people get crushed really bad by the matrix, really bad. So I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen to any of you. And once you wake up, you can start to figure out how the matrix works, and you can not let it stress you out and not let it get to you, and just keep on rolling and living and, being generative and productive and doing good works in life, and rocking with God, and, living with love and kindness and doing the right stuff. But don't make your life about the matrix, and don't be afraid of the matrix either. Don't fear the matrix. Do not get caught up on it, and also don't trust the matrix either. A lot of people love the matrix because they love civilization, they love running water, they love electricity, whatever. I like it too, but you kind of have to also have the matrix if you want to. You got to go through the matrix to get that running water, let's just say that. And whatever, just get through the matrix. Do what you have to do, fill out the paperwork, Do whatever you have to do, just don't let it get to you. Because the Matrix will break you. And people believe in it, and they're like, well, these laws make no sense, and the bureaucracy makes no sense, and the law makes no sense, and, you know, that's what, it's not your friend. It's not your friend. The Matrix is not your friend at all. It's not there to help you. You can use the Matrix, or you can let the Matrix use you, you know? Bottom line. And the Matrix attacks our mind big with all this stuff, because all this kind of stuff we have to deal with, the fear, the bureaucracy, the status quo, the political correctness, the religions, whatever, all this stuff, it blocks our mind. It puts us in fear. It gives us a very carnal mindset. So open your mind up, get that Matrix out of your mind, and just accept that that's the physical state of things that we're in right now, but don't have that be in your mind. Whatever's happening out there, don't have it be in your mind. Your mind needs to be on God, on higher things, on love, on truth, on better things. Don't have your mind focused on the Matrix, because you will be very anxious and stressed out. I'm telling you, because I've been through this. You get the mail. Is there some bill? Is there some paperwork I forgot about? Check your bank account, you know, especially when I didn't have as much money as I do now. A couple years back when I was pretty broke, it's like scary. All that stuff is like scary, man, but don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Take hold of it and realize that you are more powerful than the Matrix. You're above the Matrix. Be that chosen one, be Neo, and just be out of the Matrix, and do not be too caught up on it, and because it'll make you unhappy, it'll make you stressed out, it'll make you scared, it'll make you anxious, it'll bring you down. So just don't be too caught up on society or on the machine or on the system. Just try to laugh it off. Don't get too caught up on it. Yeah, I think I'm going to end this video here, but thank you all so much for listening. I really appreciate you all. God bless you all. You all are awesome, and I will see you guys next time.